We're going to run your test today on a shredder granulator unit. This is our 600 series. What we have here on the top is a shredder, and then underneath is your granulator portion. We're going to run it with a 50 millimeter shredder screen, and then we have an 8 millimeter granulator screen on it. Once it goes through the shredder, the granulator goes through an evacuation unit. It's going to come out here. I'm going to put a bin there for you. I'm going to put several different bins because your materials are different. This is your purgings, which will act differently than your plastics, the trays. Normally when we're running purgings, we run it with a 20 millimeter screen on the shredder and an 8 millimeter screen on the granulator, simply because the shredder will do more work and chew this up real nice. But if you do that, it blocks the holes, so when you do these trays, it takes much longer to get through. So we put in a larger screen just to accommodate the trays. If you buy the unit, the best thing to do is buy two screens, one 20 millimeter for your purges and one 50 millimeter for your plastic trays. It'll process much nicer. We also have your material here, which we're going to hand feed in of your, I guess, your webbing. And then this material came through, and we're just going to have to cut this off. This doesn't have a roll feed on it, so we have to just basically unroll this, kind of wind it up, and then push it through the system. But the best when you have rolls like this, if it's a thicker roll or bigger roll, is actually have a roll feed system on it, or a guillotine to cut it in pieces. But you got the core here, and we can't put that through the system. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to turn off the video. I'm going to put the security door back on here, and then I'll start running your tests. I'm going to take you through how to start the system. It's a fairly easy system to start. We have a granulator amperage and a shredder amperage. What's good about these is if the granulator starts to overamp, meaning too much material is going through, it'll slow down the granulator. It'll tell the hydraulic unit to pull back on the ram, so it provides less material to the granulator and helps to readjust for it. This also has a conveyor. The conveyor will do the same thing. If the granulator overamps or the shredder starts to overamp, the conveyor will stop feeding the machine. And this is our test lab unit. We do not have a conveyor set up to it, but you can easily put one on this unit. To start the unit, you first make sure the blue light is active, so it says that all the safeties are in the proper order. You just turn on the blower. The blower is located right behind the machine. Then the granulator. Then the hydraulic unit, which is located right here, which works your ram system. And then the shredder itself. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to take one of your large pieces to start with. It's going to be a little bit awkward as I use one hand to do it. Just going to bring it up here. This machine will process your purges extremely fast. We'll be done with this in just a couple of minutes at one. The material's already flying out. I'll put another chunk in there for you. This is your largest chunk. And the system's having no issues with this material. Here's your amperage. Just simply going through it. And you can see it just flying out. I'll let this process through, and then I'm going to change the bin to work on your trays. Before I move on to do the trays, I just want to show you what the material looks like. So really it depends on what you need in your processing for your screen size for your granulator. This, again, with this type of material, you can go up a size in your granulator screen, which is less wear and tear on the machine, and it'll give you a little more pebble size. But I don't know if you want kind of the fine grainier or more of the pebbles, but you have kind of a mixture here. So it really depends, again, on your downstream processing, what you want with this material. We're going to bag this material up for you and send it over for your inspection, and then I'll start on the trays. All right, Paul, we're ready to load. Throw the balance in, throw it all in. Perfect, okay. Here's what your material looks like coming out. Finish processing the material out, and I'll show you once the system's off. Here's your material that we ran. These are your plastic plates. The stuff that I just ran second are over in that one. I took them apart just because they might be different. This is your material size. Had no problem processing it. We'd recommend a much bigger screen on the shredder side. It's much more efficient. It was actually during the test I changed the screen size up to 70 millimeter, and it flowed a lot easier. When we had the 50, it was clogging up the holes a bit in it, but I moved up to the 70. She went fine. So we're gonna bag this up for you, and then this is your material from your purges.